welcome back. So today we are going to discuss dragon blood. So dragon blood is a resin. It's found on trees, and it's a very potent and heavy resin that you can use for protection. I love it for protection. Anything dealing with protection, I love it because you can get many different uses from multi usage herbs, roots, resins, oils, different things like that. So if it has multiple uses, I'm gonna go with the one that I can get the strongest effect from. But you can use it for several different things in which you can pull that same effect. So go with what works best for you. Now, for many of you that'll hear, oh, it's great for multi-use, you'll go in and throw all different types of stuff in it, and you don't want to do that. The first thing you want to do is see how it works for you and your spells. So you're going to be testing yourself out. So with the dragon's blood, you want to add in the correct components so you can blend it well in rituals. Don't just add anything to it, okay? So use it in your spells, the potions, powders, incense, oils, as well as a whole chunk to wear for protection jewelry. So I have one here, and let me straighten out my camera a bit. Okay, so this is a protection jewelry that I will wear. I'll keep this in my car. I have one in my car. There's one in my husband's car, and my sister keeps one in her car as well. So these are usually used. I will put crystals inside of them, and you can switch out the crystals. But I don't like to wear crystals. I prefer like angelica root and different things in here, chunks that I can fit right inside, and that is a dragon blood resin in here, which is a great form of protection over your body to stop the enemies from coming forth and doing anything negative to you. Okay, today I want to show you how to blend it together and use create your bottles for your potions for love and for your potions for protection. So we'll make some dragon's blood ink, and I'll discuss it a little bit more to help you understand how to use it. I've used it in mojo bags as well, and I've used John the Conqueror root blended inside of there with ginger for lovers, to help return them back. So if you do have a lover and you want him to keep coming back home at nighttime when he is sleeping, you're going to powder up the dragon blood resin, the John the Conqueror root powder, and ginger, and put it at the bottom of their shoe or in the soles to make sure they continuously return to you. And what you do with that powder mix while they're sleeping, you should do it a couple of days before you do it the night before, because you want to put some power and energy into it. And a lot of times, many of you mixing stuff together last minute, it doesn't have that full potent energy in it, so you want to do it a couple of days ahead, but place it in there at nighttime. Pray over it, and you could light about 7 candles, 7 come to me candles, or a blend of come to me, just stay, and love Jones, to bring that heavy energy over him or her, and place it in the shoe, so every time they leave your home, they return. Okay, I've also used it with black salt and Florida water to mix up my dragon blood ink, and that one is used as a form of protection, which works really, really good. So today we're gonna look at the root, the resin. It's a resin. It's grown on trees, and it's really powerful because I found that it has a really great use, not only for protection, but for love and controlling elements in your lover's life. So if you do have a lover that you feel is hard to control, the dragon blood is really good to use and to blend into. Like you got 5-finger grass. 5-finger grass is used to help everything that the hands can do. So that can be used for a bit of control. And then you want to use in a little bit of licorice root powder with it as well, and you can combine this into your spells and create a potion for your lover using purple candles and yellow candles. You can use a skull or image candle to help control their energy a bit more. There are people that you're not going to be able to control, but I find this to be a passive way to calmly help them to do the things that you ask them to do. So a lot of times people will also use this for like external treatments, medicinally, for skin ointments and stuff like that. It's very mystical and magical, And I really like the way it stimulates the protection and spaces in the areas that I've physically used it for. And I prefer always a root or resin for specific things. And for this, I'm gonna mainly go after it for that protective energy. Many of you may go after it and use the recipe that I told you to keep the lover coming back to the home. And some of you, may blend it together with money. It also helps with like boost your finances. So it's a great way to help control certain elements in your life. I know many people who will say, oh, I use it for everything. You can't necessarily just use it for everything. You have to be able to combine the resins with certain herbs, roots, powders, oils, and elements and curios in magic that work well for the specific situation. So you can't just throw any powders with it and stuff like that and automatically expect it to work. It has to be prayed over. Go through a ritual process with everything that you're doing so you can place energy over it. Place it on your altars. If you place it on your altars and you're praying over it and you're working a bunch of rituals, it's going to get more energy. It definitely is. I mean, for those of you that lack it and you don't have much power and whatnot, build that up. This is for all of you and those of you out there that have that power. I know many of you that don't have the power yet and you're new and you're just watching my channel. You're like, you're probably saying to yourself, how can I get that power? How can I build that up? You need to know if you have power or not. You work spells. Work them on yourself. Do small things. Do protection. You will feel that sense of protection. Create baths. You will feel it. You sense the energy when you do it. And as you work your rituals and you're working for certain things to happen, it happens little by little. So you start to see changes. So that's how you know your magic is working. Physically, you will see it. Mentally, you will know. And emotionally, you start seeing the changes happening between you or the person that you're working on. So that is one specific reason you'll know, okay, this root is working for me. This resin is working. This herb is working for me. This powder is doing something. This incense is doing something. You will see the physical changes. You will feel the physical changes. I like using the, let me turn my camera a bit. This is the resin. I crushed it down with my mortar and pestle. So it's going to look a bit orangey. So, I mean, a lot of people will probably figure it look really, really, really dark red like this. But in this instance, there isn't. There's the Monarops Draco and there's the Dracana Draco. I might be butchering that one a bit. But those are both of dragon bloods. And of the one that you're going to find the most commonly one, I believe, is going to be the Monarops Draco. So that is one of the species of which this is. This is what you normally will find. And you'll find people selling it half an ounce, or you can just buy like a whole pound, which is what I do. So I'll buy like 2-3 pounds and then I'll break it up myself. I like to put my own energy into my stuff. I like to break down my own powders. I like to, if I can grow the root and the herbs and whatnot, then I like to do that myself. So I like to put a lot of my own energy into it, mainly because I see a lot of people proclaiming they're witches and practicing this and practicing that, but they know nothing about herbs, roots, oils, nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, they're still using olive oil to make your come to me oils, and that's going to be really stink. I prefer olive oil to cook with. I do not want it inside of any of my essential oils, my conjure oils, my conditional oils, none of my spiritual oils. I don't want that heaviness in it. It's a very, very thick scent. And if you are still purchasing oils from people, or you are still using oils, olive oils, you want to upgrade. You want to move up. I'm gonna have a few videos on here, and I tell you what kind of carrier oils that you can use. So today we are going to blend together the dragon blood powder, and we're going to use, I'll show you what it looks like when you use water, and I'll show you what it looks like when you use a Florida water. I make my own Florida water too, and I have a recipe on here that you guys can follow to make your own batches. So I'm going to use Florida water, I'm going to use water, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes what it looks like, and then we'll put it in the bottle. So stay tuned. I took out a lot of the powder because I do not want to waste my dragon blood powder. Dragon blood powder is really, really potent and powerful, so I don't want to just waste it. So I added a little bit of water. I just want you to see what it looks like when you blend it. So you can see what happens when you add it with water. It's just absolutely positively nothing. You don't even see a color change with it. It kind of just sits there. I add a little bit more water so you guys can see it. So you see it doesn't even blend at all. You see that? Weird, right? But you don't use water to make it. Water does absolutely positively nothing. It just sits there. Next. I'm gonna use alcohol next. I'm gonna clean this bowl real quick. So I'm gonna spray just a little bit of my Florida water in it, and you see it turns red automatically. Right? So what you're gonna do for your base is you're gonna add, make sure that the powder is really base, like crushed down. I have a little bit of chunks in here, but I'm gonna little by little add a little bit of my Florida water in here to make some blood. And this is what it looks like by adding in just a bit more. I'm gonna get a bottle. I'm gonna put this in there, and I'm gonna add in the rest of this. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna continue crushing up because I have a little bit too much chunks in there, and I'm gonna crush it all the way down. So the more I crush it down, the more red it becomes. The dragon blood still leaves a little bit. It starts to actually kind of clump up a bit, but you still get your red color that you're looking for. So small batches, and you want to just crush it down and blend it in with the alcohol. And as you can see, it's getting darker and darker and darker. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this probably sit for maybe another hour. And after an hour, what I'll do is I'll drain it out. I'll drain it out because it has little chunks left. I crushed down as much as I could. I crushed down as much as I could. You see? There's a little bit of thick resin still left in it. A lot of the powder started to dissolve, so this is just what's left in here from the powder. So a small container actually will work better for you. And that is your dragon's blood. You see what happens with the water? Nothing, absolutely, positively nothing. And you can use this to write your love letters. You can use this to fill up a bottle and write your lover's name and place his hair and name or hair and nails or her hair and nails inside of here. And you can use pink and red candles and Song of Solomon along with some attraction powder at the bottom. And you light up your candles every Friday. And you pray for your lover and your love to stay strong with this person. Pretty simple recipe. As far as the resin, you can do whatever you really want to do with the resin. I mean, I like to use it for protection, so you can put it on your protection altar. As far as like the smell, it has like a kind of like a sandy amberish kind of aroma to it. To me, that's what it smells like. I've smelled some that have smelled like nothing, and then when you break it down, like if you get like a pound of it and you break it down yourself, the inside you can smell like an aroma, kind of like an earthy aroma to it. That's what it smells like to me. But it's a pretty simple recipe when it comes to creating your blood, and use it for anything that you desire. You use it in your love baths. Use it as I sell dragon blood oil, and it takes me maybe about a week, 10 days to get it to the color that I want it to be. Blended in with the oil. You do have to do some blending with your hands and use the mortar and pestle. You want to make sure it's really fine, or what I do sometimes is I put chunks inside of the oil, and it helps give it that reddish orangey color to it. But overall, you want a dark, potent looking color for any of your bloods. Water does not blend well at all. Florida waters, alcohol base is good. You can use a bay rum. Anything with alcohol in it is going to help you bring in what you want. The water, I don't know, it just doesn't set right with it. But overall, it's pretty simple. So I've discussed what it does protection wise. I've showed you how to make the blood. And you ground down the powder with your mortar and pestle, which is pretty simple and easy to do. And I mean, you just want to be able to use it in the many different things when it comes to protection. And you want to be able to. I have heard of fake resin for dragon blood, but there's different forms and different types that people will sell. So it's possibly it's not fake. It's just not 100% as potent, or maybe it was grown in a different area and it doesn't bring off that bright red color. People also use it to dye different things spiritually, to make dyes like on their sages and their incense. It goes really well, blends well with incense to rub it on there. And you can use the base to put it in practically anything involving protection and love for you, and controlling and compelling, to basically kind of overpower and dominate the lover to do certain things, but lightly. So you have a lot of different things you can do with it. Comment below, let me know what else you've used with it, your experiences, and your favorite potions that you've blended it in well. Like, subscribe, and stay blessed.